Hello, everybody. Ti Dave here. And as you know, we have an interview today, so that's why we are not going live. We might be live next Sunday, however. I'm here with Tara, and they're going to share their story today and about targeting. And so I'm going to turn it over to you and ask you questions as you go
Mhm.
about what happened before what was like your life like before you were targeted, what it's like now, what you deal with, what you experience.
Mm. Well, I I faced this weird circumstances. I tried to live my normal life, but and at the same time I tried to understand what happened with me. It was quite difficult because all the information in the internet is scarce and like unofficial, and it's referred to something like conspiracy theories. And it was very difficult for me. My life here is kind of cracked because I came here to live with my partner, and then I came to the Netherlands. I'm political refugee from Russia, and my life is cracked. I lost my family. They thought that I am kind of uh, crazy delusional person who hear voices, who talks with devices at home, and she and I lost my partner and my son, and this
My
time we all
condolences.
went to
I said my condolences.
Hmm?
My condolences. In America, that means worst. I apologize for your loss.
Yeah, thank you. Uh, and in turn, I was brought to the hospital because I talked about neurotechnologies, and they don't give me any diagnosis yet, but I still have to do the shots of antipsychotics just because I talked about these technologies. And currently, I lack communication because I used to be quite talkative person with a lot of friends, and now they all turned away from me because I'm delusional. But I'm
But
not
you're not
going.
delusional. It's really
I'm
happening.
not delusional. Yes, they believe I'm delusional.
Right.
Thank you for correction. Yes, I'm not delusional, and I'm going to make this thing, this the whole field, as visible as possible. I don't want to keep it to state like in an invisible state when people just uh, like this crazy person. There's no need to talk to them, and all the people who experience due attacks get medicated. It's totally not. It's totally not tolerable situation for me.
Right. So could you tell me how this all started? Like when you first started noticing stuff was going on, something stuff ain't right. You're well, explain your isolation, like how it came about. Like, did your friends just all stop at once, or did they fall off little by little? Your friends and family.
I have little contact with my family. My family is in Russia, but all my friends that were like in contact with you totally like every day, they just disappeared, like simply disappeared. No words, no accusations, just disappeared. It's quite a remarkable experience when you face it first time.
Oh yeah, the isolation and the. Are you? Do you think you would be what the term blacklisted in the community?
I don't know. I no no no. In community, I don't adopt this blacklist, but my behavior, if I'm talking about directed energy weapon or near weapon, they instantly start they don't understand this, they know nothing and just disappear. It's believed to be norm. Even
Right.
some people even propose things like destigmatization of stigma, but this entire attitude is stigma. It cannot be destigmatized. We have to bring more awareness about near weapons and
Right. How is the awareness over where you're at? Not many people, like in America, people are waking up. A lot more people know what direct energy weapons are. But I would say there's a lot that are asleep too. I just know that's one of the main goals of this program is to terrorize you, with psyops. And then when you go tell you look crazy, then the whole community thinks, well, they're just crazy. And the whole time this person's really being tortured, really being messed with behind closed doors, and everybody won't help him because they think they're crazy, you know?
yeah. People here mostly believe they're crazy when they hear voices, unfortunately. I met since hospitalization event, I've met several people whom I see as targeted individual. For example, some people were in hospital and they described me their experience pretty much similar with the experience of targeted individuals with voices, with vibrations, with specific audio vestibular effects, and so on. And but some people here are aware of problem. I've been in a meeting of targeted individuals quite recently. There were more than 10 persons. It's very good
Oh
because I
yeah, there's meetings over there.
yeah, there was a meeting.
Oh,
It was organized by Stop EG, this local organization run by Peter Moring, and he organized the annual meeting. So it's quite new format for me, but I was very good that it's happened.
so you're basically isolated and get V2K. Now my V2K runs by scripts, so my V2K will, depending on what mood I am and what's going on, like they might run a self-esteem script to try to, you're worthless, David. Why are you even going on with life? You're just you're nothing. You don't have nobody. You know what I'm saying? Or they might say, David, they're coming to get you, and it just, I don't really want to get into it because it makes me seem crazy. But it just, they'll comment stuff like, you might as well not do the interview. We're going to mess it up. It's just always commenting on stuff. Or they'll get goofy and stupid and retarded and say, Mr. Smiley Pants, or call me Poindexter. But, they run different scripts on me. And like they even got fear scripts. They can mimic my ex-wife's voice. They've mimicked my sister's voice. Do you experience any of that type stuff?
Yeah, I experience this types of stuff. I experience voices sometimes, but quite recently they became more like silent and like far away. It happened when I started to pay less attention to them, because initially I tried to listen what they said, but then I figured out it was like artificial intelligence things, scripted things that can run 24 hours a day. And there's no need to listen to it, and they become more distant and more far, but they actually uh, they mimicked all the voices I've heard. So they mimicked voices of my mother, of my partner, of my son. I've heard they are talking to him when he's in his room, like in, have some intrusion into his dreams. He asked me and another mother for help and something like this. So this constantly happened, and I was very tired of this thing because these voices require more and more attention. And this time I come to conclusions that they are just use your attention to impose more and more brain entrainment. So you get deeper and deeper in this context, and they even use special effects that like pain, like needles, electricity, even more when your brain is entrained to it. So basically, I'm avoiding all the contact with the system. I'm trying to ignore them, and it's the same thing that I advise to everyone else.
And that's awesome. That's what I've learned to do. I've been dealing with it since 2015. Holly's dealt with it. She does the same thing, because what people don't understand is they're probing you for reactions, and while you're under brain entrainment, and they're trying to create a digital twin cognitive model of your brain. So every reaction is really not good at all. You don't need to react. Music breaks brain entrainment. Multitasking breaks brain entrainment. Spontaneity breaks brain entrainment. There's several things that will break brain entrainment. And I don't know if you knew that or not. But multitasking really helps me. You get 4 or 5 things going on around the house, and you just do a little, you're switching back and forth, and it's making your brain where they can't lock on,
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is
That's good
very
though. A
basic
lot.
tips that works.
So you basically got your V2K under control, basically.
Yeah,
That's good, because a lot of people don't realize about the brain entrainment. I'm glad you brought that up, because they talk back with their V2K, or they respond to their V2K, and it's just not healthy. And like you said, once they get you deep into brain entrainment, they can do other stuff like vibrate your body, basically whatever they want, move your limbs, whatever they want to do.
yeah. Involuntary movement of limbs. It's very impressive trick.
All right. So have you experienced any of that? Like, what do you experience?
I've experienced all the range of the effects, like involuntary movement of limbs, involuntary voices, involuntary like movement of my head. Like, I like to draw, and I draw certain like linear art just to recover my hand. My hand burned in Russia. They in the same episode that I told before, and I need to recover them and draw a lot. And I found out they can move my limbs like pretty much like I draw. But when I cut them off from my brain, it doesn't happen at all. So it's I've experienced it, and moreover, I experienced it one thing that is very weird. It's like time lapse, like time loops and like looped timeline. When you like wake up, you see something, then you like go to sleep, then you wake up and you see exactly the same that you've seen before. And this happens again and again and again, like several times. So they are trying to run a lot of experiments with people and research certain patterns of activity and inject certain neuronal experience, and so on. But
So
it all works. Huh?
when you're talking about looping, you mean like playing recorded pain stimuli onto your body, like you know what I'm saying? Like replaying.
Yes. They like if they record your neural experience and then insert it back to you, so it play back.
Yeah, they can keep making you experience the same. Yeah.
So
Okay.
you get repeated experience several times.
Right. Now, so since you've started to ignore, because I think this is very important in this interview, so since you've started ignoring it, and not paying attention to reaction, your other attacks have become less, right?
Yes, exactly.
Wow, that's a good point. Wow. So that
I
means
figured it out that some people like also figured it out somehow, maybe by like with different paths, but some people also figured out this dependence between your involvement and how much they react to you and how much they provide you with certain stimuli cues.
Right. So basically, the more you interact with V2K, the more your brain gets entrained, which is the more freedom they have to do whatever they. It's easier to do whatever they want with you once they get your brain entrained. And that's why I make the videos I've been making about brain entrainment and breaking brain entrainment, because it's important to keep that brain entrainment broke, so they can't do that as easy. Do you experience any being followed everywhere, organized harassment, mobbing, at
I
your house?
I've experienced certain uh, several episodes when people, like, you know, you meet some person one day in a one position, one place at one time, and then suddenly you meet this person another day in the exactly the same time and this in exactly the same situation and something like this. It happens several times. Also, I've experienced some weird situation where I thought my apartment, like someone broke in my house, but I have little evidences, and that's it. Uh, mm,
Now, did they take
I
anything when they broke in your house?
I've experienced it very deep, weird attitude from people in streets. They behave stupidly and several situations like repeated several times.
Right, theater.
Yeah, theater. But I decided not to pay attention to it
Right.
because I decided that they probably have the same access to other brains and their physiology like they have with targeted individuals. And so if we pay more attention to these performances, we'll in turn direct more and more on it. So I just decided to. I saw it. Okay, thank you.
That's well. I think that's awesome because you said 2 years you've been dealing with this, and you've already got a big part figured out. The more you react, the more your brain gets entrained, and the more torture you experience. And that's very important for people to know, because when you react, the system locks onto you through your reactions and logs your reactions into a supercomputer, which is creating a cognitive model of your brain. So whether stalking, theater, weapons, whatever, and I know people's like, well, that's easier said than done. Yes, it is easier said than done. But when you know what they're doing when you react, if you know the consequences of reacting and really know what they're doing and trying to do in the background, create a cognitive model of your brain, then it should help you react less, you know?
Yeah,
That's awesome that you understand that 2 years into the program. It took me years and Holly years to understand that.
Yeah, I ignore them. I completely ignore them. I'm so sick of them. I completely ignore them. I don't give them a reaction. I don't care if they're following me. I completely act like they're not there. They're not going to ruin my life anymore. I'm so sick of them. And it has alleviated some of the gang stalking. So, I'm doing what you're doing. I'm sticking with that. And do you believe that you were implanted? Have you been implanted?
it's for me question.
Have you
Do you believe you have it?
Implants?
chips? Yeah, a chip in. Do you think you have?
No. I believe in my situation there's no implants, no chips, no whatever. And from my observation how the system works, it doesn't really need this type of extras.
Right. Well, back in the day, I think back in the day they did, and they figured out how to do it without, because she has implants. I don't know if I have them. I think if they get the opportunity, they might do it to fine tune you, but like you said, they don't need that at all to entrain your brain now. Technology is a lot more advanced. I'm trying to think.
Have they experienced a noise campaign?
Oh yeah, did you experience noise campaigns when when your targeting first started, like banging on walls, trying to keep you up at night, or
Revving engines.
ambulances coming by at weird times when you're trying to talk on the phone?
Revving the engines.
I experienced it a lot. It was a very bright part of experience with all this system, and it created a lot of difficulties with sleep, and took a lot of time paying attention to their plans, how they want to disrupt my life, how they all this what you said. It was present, but again, from my observation, they talk this to you, they produce this experience with one thing in mind. So you can call for your for clinic, police, psychiatry by yourself. So they enforce you via this road, this kind of behavior, so you can ruin your own life by yourself.
Right. They create the psyops. They run major psyops on you, and you destroy yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you're like your worst enemy if you're not equipped with knowledge of what's going on. And
Yeah.
because my targeting started, I'm convinced 2012, and I didn't find out what targeting was till 2018. So I was running around crazy. And
Yeah.
if I'd have had all that knowledge I have now, I would have realized, hey man, I caused, and that's what they did. They ran psyops. I destroyed myself through my actions.
Yeah.
It's sick that they're doing this to people all around the world. Good people at that. Would you have they ever sent any honeypots or anything to try to get close to you?
Um, Sorry.
Like a honeypot. A honeypot is a person who will. It could be a friend. It could be a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, who tries to get close to you. And then if they do get close to you,
They will try to ruin your life.
yeah, they're gaslighting you. They're targeting you behind the scenes.
My ex-partners can be probably viewed something like this, because my ex-partner was pretty she was so warm for me. She provided so much support, everything. But with time, our relationship becomes worse and worse when we came here in the Netherlands. And when this NERA attack started, it was, she was like ideal person to gaslight me, because she was initially very close to me, and when this energy weapon situation started, she was the first person to gaslight me. She constantly told me, you have to go to psychiatrist, you are crazy, you are delusional. Why should someone chase and follow you? Why should someone use some weaponry against you and something like this? She constantly told me these things, and she herself did quite a remarkable job to put me in psychiatric ward, because it was because of her call to the police. And I just wanted to learn more about her contact with the person whom I thought was in this process of chasing me. So instead of telling me that that she's not in contact with this person, she called police, and police called psychiatry, and they took me.
Right. And so she played you close, acted like she supported you. and then gaslight you and try to push you in
Yeah.
psychiatric.
Yes, it's exactly
Right, and that's
so.
typical. That's typical honeypot behavior.
I believe these people are also some kind of controlled by the system.
Yeah, mind control.
I doubt she has direct relationship with the people who organize it at all.
Right, she was mind controlled. In other words,
Yes, I think it's mind control.
right. They also have influence mapping is a big thing they use. So, you know, if they find out Holly likes Pepsi or something, what they'll do is they'll have all the perps and stuff drink Pepsi and stuff every time they perp me. That way, I'll start getting it in my head. Holly loves Pepsi. All my perps are doing Pepsi, so Holly must be a perp. You see? But that's just a poor example of influence mapping. I wish I could think of something right offhand, a better example. But yeah, so they're very very planned in what they do. It's basically, and then most of it's ran by a supercomputer. In my opinion, I don't know what in my research, not my opinion, but through my research. And so game theory, you know, they're already 3 moves ahead, and every time you react, you know, they already got another tactic to use against you based off your last reaction.
Yeah. They compute your reaction and model them. It's very complicated thing. They have to like to catch with it all these things that they are not available for them because they don't have they can't read all the neuronal activity directly, so they have to create excessive model that can be very complex and gives answers that are not provided with the technology.
Right. Is there anything like you've known you were going to do this interview for like 3 or 4 days in advance? Is there anything this whole time you've been thinking of, like, I'd really like to get this out during the interview? Anything you'd like to share, like your knowledge or stuff, or anything you think's important?
You know, it's my first interview in this theme. I never gave interview for targeted like about targeted individuals and as a targeted individual, and I don't know. I just want people to learn about brain entrainment thing, and I want them to understand more fully that this system is directly linked to your involvement. So if you are not letting this system involve you, you won't get this that much amount of effect. But it's difficult to understand it if you haven't digged in this deeper.
Right.
So,
Are them memes that you share on Facebook? Do you create them?
yes, I create them with ChatGPT, but this still require a lot of research done by myself.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. That's really what caught my attention. You do a lot of posts and create your own memes, and all that knowledge is very, very good knowledge. And I appreciate anybody sharing knowledge like that. And I just wish more people could more targets could be more educated in that area, you know?
Yeah.
Because there's so much disinformation about what's really going on, you know?
Yeah. You know, I'm just shocked how much unprepared people. It includes all people. It includes me. It includes everyone else. I was a little bit more prepared because I wanted to study on like biomedical. I wanted to study biological engineering, so I'm a little bit more prepared when it comes to brain. But I'm still shocked how this super advanced technology ruins lives of just regular people who are not prepared for this type of experience, for this type of technology. They just use it full on against people. It's crazy.
Right. And half Americans are, you know, they go, or not America, just half the people around the world. You know, half of them just go to work, believe what they see on the news, go eat, come home, pay bills, watch the news, and just they're in a little bubble when there's people being tortured with technology, and eventually it's going to be rolled out in the whole world, and they don't even understand the ramifications of what we're dealing with here. I mean, this is serious stuff, you know, and it's sad that a lot of people are in that bubble. And I wish I could pull them out, and I've been trying to pull them out for 3 years on this channel, hoping some non-targets would watch my channel. And I've had some success. I've had non-targets say they were leery of it and didn't believe it, but since watching my channel, they watched it with an open mind, and thanks for my awareness. But you know, I think some people are just unreachable at this point.
Yes. I can completely relate to what you are saying, because well, I have the same intention when I see these people who are suffering, that I want to reach them. I want to tell them to pay less attention to this thing, to understand that this that a lot of happens to you happens because of like virtual technology. It's not like with you, it's computer generated thing, but some people are not reachable. Yes, I agree. I so want to reach them by myself, but some people are very deeply in this, and not an understanding of this, but in these illusions. And the technology is designed, initially designed in a ways to isolate people.
Do you ever experience drones or helicopters?
Do you ever experience drones or helicopters or anything like that?
Sound of helicopter.
Yeah, or drones.
Yeah, yes. Quite often, it's very often.
Wow. Yeah, because they're used as well. I was
Weapons. They're used as weapons.
Yeah, and I have a paper where Sabrina Wallace, it's where she speaks on drones and stuff, and I've been studying it because you know, the drone thing, there's not much information. It's very, very, when you search for information about drones and drone technology on targets, it's very hard to find. But she did a paper, and I'm researching that and reading it, and I'm hoping to do a video about that one day. So do the drones follow you when you, or is it just helicopters?
I don't understand actually. In some situations, this is. Sorry, you are talking about drones. I've seen drones, a lot of them, but they currently they disappeared. But I've seen a lot of them, and I don't know, is it for me or it is because they are widely used here for many purposes. But I've never had like something more than just observation of drones. I've never landed any of them, and I never followed them, so I don't know why are they, and maybe it's just coincidence.
Right. Have you, can you hold a job? Are you able to work are you able to work?
No, when I was brought to psychiatric ward, they give me a short, very job.
Right.
I constantly had lightheadedness, all this dizziness. It was completely not compatible with any work. So I am just staying at home right now and waiting for this effects to wear off to plan my following activity and something like this.
Right. Yeah, that's just sad they do that to people. I know quite a few people that have to do that every month. And I'm totally against it. I think people should have that choice whether or not they want something like that. How do you cope day to day with this stuff? Is there any certain stuff you do? Read books, multitask, listen to music. How do you cope on a day to day basis?
Well, I'm trying to first engage in activity related to dismantling and like making more aware of people about this technology. So I put a lot of my time in drawings, and also multitasking helps because I rule my own brain. I well, it just helps because when you follow some strict lines that you have like do in a very strict order, it's much easier for them to catch you
Right.
during entrainment.
Are you talking about like if you leave the house and go the same route every day? Are you talking about switching it up? Is that what you're talking about? You said it's
What?
easy to follow the same lines.
Yes, if you're doing the same lines, it's easier to for them to align and bring you
Oh,
inside
if you
of
do the
the
same thing every day, it's
yeah.
easier for. Oh, okay, yeah. So so basically you're trying to say that change your schedule up, never be predictable.
Well, it cannot be completely predictable because you still have very limited choices what to do. But I'm trying to avoid certain consequences of stimuli and reaction. So if I have a certain stimuli, I'm not like instantly jumping in a certain activity related to the stimuli. I'm thinking about it. Sometimes I'm switch it, and but you know I don't understand how much my situation is relevant to other situation, and actually I feel pretty much like all the active measures against me are stopped, but I still experience a lot of problems with psychiatry. They are constantly trying to prolong their care for me, and so my
And so you're saying they're focused more on the psychiatric
yes,
part now, right
yes,
now.
I'm focused more on psychiatry now because I have very high chances that they will keep their care for me for even longer period of time, and I'm not very happy about it because the antipsychotics give me so much side effects that it's barely compatible with living actually.
Right. I know some people who say that they take activated charcoal with their psych meds and it negates the effects.
Yeah, but they gives me not an oral form. They gives me
Yeah.
shots, prolonged shots, and it doesn't help.
Right. Wow. Okay. Yeah. I have like one more question for you,
Yeah.
and I really appreciate your efforts on Facebook. I think the memes you make are genius. Never stop doing that because believe it or not, it makes a difference to somebody. They may not say it, but somebody's seeing it. And what message would you like? Is there anything you'd like to say to my viewers today as far as your targeting? Any tips you'd like to give them as far as how you deal with targeting? Any message to target individuals in general you'd like to say before we go?
I'd like to give some messages that they are all beautiful and gorgeous people, and they don't have to be afraid of this technology because it's very advanced technology that is used against people, but you can overcome it. You can overcome it, and I see a lot of people like you are doing this and this in progress and help other people. And I'd ask other people not to stop doing any activity, just keep putting efforts and make it more visible and support each other, because this system is clearly designed to isolate you, and it is designed to make you think that you are worse than you are, because it brings all your memories, all your pasts, and it brings it in a form that is sometimes not very beautiful, but you all are beautiful, gorgeous people who have to live longer and overcome the system. That's all I can say for sure. And also listen to people who talk about brain entrainment like you do, another person. This really works. So desynchronize from the system and do whatever you want and help other targeted individuals. That's it.
All right. Well, Terry, I thank you for coming out.
Yeah, thank you for this interview.
Oh, no problem. And I'm going to stop the recording right now,
Mhm.
and then we can say our goodbyes.